Chicago. Welcome to another fall edition of Social Security Hotline 21. My name is Rocio Roman Oquendo, and I am a claims specialist at the Chicago, Illinois North Field Office located in Lawrence Avenue here in Chicago. And I will be today your host for today's program. With me in the studio, we have my guest, Philip Christie, and our phone technician for today's program is DJ Cummings. So please, Philip, introduce yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. My name is Philip Christie. I'm a claims specialist at the Chicago East Social Security office located on 63rd and Cottage Grove. I've been with the agency for 7 years, so I'll be sharing some insight into different things that we've been working on here in the agency and updates to our new website. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, we want to remind our viewers that you are watching a live interactive call-in program brought to you on CAN TV 21 to discuss Social Security matters. We invite you to call in with your questions. The phone number in our studio is area 312-738-1060. One more time, the phone number here in the studio is 312-738-1060. The phone number will remain on the bottom of your screen for the rest of the program. So, starting with our topic today,
Absolutely.
Our topic is about Social Security numbers.
Right.
And Philip, did you know that the Social Security Administration recently celebrated 82 years?
82 years is a long time.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yes.
Yes, that's right, Rocio. Social Security, America's most successful domestic program, is now 82 years old, and we've been giving out a lot of beneficiary checks over that time period, and it's been a really successful program that's really helped people in need and people that have worked and paid into retirement over the years. So, if you were interested in looking to learning more information, you can always go to our website, www.socialsecurity.gov, and find out more information if you are looking to retire, be disabled, or file for a new Social Security card now.
Exactly. So, give me a minute, Philip.
Sure.
It seems like we have a caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Hi there.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can.
Okay. My question is, why am I paying $134 instead of $109? I'm gonna read you a paragraph out of AARP. If you are Medicare and collecting Social Security, which pays your Part B premium, you will likely pay $109 a month for 2018 because of a law that prevents Medicare premiums from cutting into your Social Security benefits.
Okay.
Okay, to start, that letter was sent to you by AARP, and all the information that has to do with Social Security Administration, your source should be Social Security Administration. So the premiums for 2018, the Medicare Part B premiums is $134. And in the letters that you should receive or you are about to receive, we are stating specifically the new premiums for 2018. This year there was different rates based on specific situations, but for next year is $134, and that is from Social Security Administration and the government, basically.
And part of the reason that happened is because this year we had a 2% cost of living increase across the board, and when your income increases, your Part B doesn't always stay the same. So you would go up to the normal rate because you had a 2% increase in your income
So
for 2018. So
I hope that this answers your question. So let's continue with our program.
sure. So let's see. Where were we? Let's see. So the biggest workload we process is applications for Social Security cards in the office. Seems like to me, we run through them every day. A lot of people come in for their children, themselves, their even their parents sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you get a Social Security card as far as that's concerned? How would
Well,
you suggest?
to start, let me start by just remember um, our public that the whole idea of the Social Security number, all those 9 digits, is for us to be able to control and record everybody's earnings. So in the future, when it's retirement age or in the event of a disability, we can properly pay benefit to the person, the individual, or even to possible eligibles within his family or her family. So with that, that is the whole purpose of the Social Security number. Now, those cards, we always recommend, please, not to keep those in the wallet. Because lately we see everyday cases of identity theft. But if you do need a new Social Security a replacement card, there are several ways where you can get one. Lately, with the technology, and we are very happy to communicate that finally Illinois is one of the states that are we are able to provide replacement Social Security cards online. And in a few minutes, I'm going to the website so you can see how is that easy to request an online Social Security replacement card, and that way you avoid long waiting in the local offices. So it seems like we have another
Okay.
call. So
Let's go to the caller.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, I have a question for you.
Okay.
My mom's 66 years old. She receives widow's benefits. She's not currently working. She's gonna be 67 next year. My question to you is, does she automatically get the 8% for her check when from Social Security when she turns 67, or is that just for workers?
Could you,
Okay.
you want to repeat the question?
Okay. Please let me know if we understood your question. Your mother is 66, about to turn 67. She's currently receiving a widow's benefit, and I believe she is working and she has not collected her retirement benefit already. Is that the question?
No, she's not working.
Okay, not working.
She's on widow's benefit.
hmm
She's collecting off of my late father's off his record.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But my question to you is, when she turns 67, you know how they say when you're between the ages 67 to 70, you get a 7 or 8% increase
Oh, for delayed
Okay.
retirement
each
credits.
year.
Okay, those are delayed credits, but the person may accrue that increase if they wait to receive their own retirement benefit. The
Oh,
delay
okay.
credits
Thank you.
doesn't apply to widows or survivors benefit, only on their own, the retirement benefit.
Right.
So she is already receiving widow's benefit. She will continue receiving that amount, and as Philip just mentioned, the government approved 2% increase for next year. So basically, your mom will receive a 2% increase in her widow's benefit for 2018. And as I mentioned before, if she has not received the letter stating that, she should be receiving the letter anytime now. Is basically the award letter where the agency is informing everybody that how much is going to be the new monthly benefit for 2018, and also the person will be informed about the Medicare Part B premiums. So I hope
Okay.
this
Yeah, I hope that answers your
answered
question.
his question.
If you have any other questions, you can always feel free to call our 800 number, 1-800-772-1213. They can try to answer your questions, or you can go to your local Social Security office, or check us out online at socialsecurity.gov. So we have a lot of options available to you.
Yes. So as I was saying before, on your screen you will see this is our website at www.ssa.gov, and here the first information that will appear is about what we just mentioned, the cost of living increase or adjustment for 2018, all the information about that, which is the 2%. If you scroll down, you will find information about our online services, about disability, retirement benefit, and also you can file online for what we call the extra help with Medicare prescription drug plan cost. Then down you will see My Social Security, which we highly recommend for everybody to create My Social Security account. If you create your My Social Security account, you will have access to your earnings record, and in the future you can start estimating and even planning for date of when would you like to potentially decide to start receiving retirement benefit. Then there is the retirement estimators. There are the frequently answers asked questions, and here is about Social Security number. So just a reminder that your Social Security number remains your first and continuous link with Social Security Administration. So when you go here, then they give you all the information that you need on how to apply for a replacement Social Security card online. Of course, simple requirements. Number one, that you have to be a U.S. citizen, age 18 or older, with a U.S. mailing address. This includes APO, FPO, and DPO addresses. You cannot request a name change or any other change to your card, and have a driver license or a state issue identification card from one of the states that are listed here in the website. One more time, we recommend for you to sign in or create an account in My SSA. Okay, so this is very, very easy to follow. And if you do it online, you will still get the card probably no more than 2 weeks. Sometimes is even faster, like a week or so.
Right, absolutely.
And the best part is that you will avoid the long waiting time in the local offices.
Right, and that's one of the big keys. You know, I see people every day, you know, that we have to have wait for quite a while sometimes to get their Social Security cards, and you know, we try to get them to sign up for their My Social Security accounts online in the office, but you know, you can do it in the leisure of your own home without any issue, as long as you have a valid email address, and you have a you know, you can create a username and password. You can create that at home and order your Social Security card now, as long as you got an ID here and you're above 18. So it's just a really, really good service that we just started offering a couple of months ago.
And another a small reminder is that you have to be a U.S. citizen. Another issue that we see in a daily basis in the local offices is that a lot of time people change the legal status here in the United States. They become a U.S. citizen and they never go to the offices to update the citizenship status. That is something that has to be done in the office. You have to bring your original naturalization certificate or citizenship certificate, and we will do the updating in the local offices. That cannot be done online, cannot be done in any other way, but in the office we need to see the official document, has to see the original. We cannot use photocopies, and or you can go to the offices with the passport, which by the way must be current. Okay, no expired passport, and go do the update in the local offices, and then in the future, if it's necessary, yes, you can go to the website and file for a replacement card online.
And then
Okay.
while you're at that, when we're talking about that subject, another thing that really happens a lot is people get married and people get divorced. Just because you get divorced or you get married, you need to change your name. If you're going to change your name, if you choose to change your name, we don't know unless you come in and file for that change in replacement Social Security card. And that's another thing that you would have to do in the office or through the mail if you wish to do that route. We need to have you come in with your marriage certificate or divorce decree, with your legal name change documented on there, and then we need to change that to order that replacement Social Security card. So that is one of the other exceptions that we can't do online at this point.
Exactly.
Another thing that you would still have to come in the office for, but just think of how many people are, less people are in the office than once were. And, of course, children, anybody who's under 18 still has to come in for a replacement Social Security card if they need one for school or something like that.
Exactly. And the other, something else that I want to add to your comment is that just a reminder that if you have a child which is a teenager, they can go to the offices. You don't need to come with them. As long as they have an identification, it may be an state ID, a passport. In a case of a student, we can even use the current school ID.
Yep.
They can go to the local offices and wait and apply for their own social security card. It's not necessarily for the parent to take off day of work just to go with the young adult to the office, or the teenager, better say.
Very true.
And since we are with this topic of social security cards, we want you to remind you what are the documents that we will need to see in order to do a replacement social security card in the offices. But before we go into details with the requirements, we are going to take another call.
Let's get another caller.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. How do you receive your checks from your husband, SSA? I used to get the check, but they stopped it. I don't know why.
Okay. Is your husband still alive, or I mean, is it how old? I mean, it's an age thing usually if it's a spousal claim. So you have to be at least 62, and he would have at least have to have been filing, as far as that's concerned.
Could you please give us a little bit of detail? We need to know if you are currently married to this person, how old are you, if he is or he's not on benefit, and also if he's alive and you are under 60 years old and have a child, how old is the youngest child? Because there are different situations.
Okay. My child is 17 years old. My husband died 11 years ago.
Okay, and may I ask how old are you?
47.
Okay, so basically I believe we are under a situation of child in care benefit. Child in care benefit means that you were receiving benefits because you were caring for a child that was under 16 years old. So you were not receiving widow's benefit, you were receiving child in care benefit. So the benefit that you were receiving stopped when your youngest child turns 16 years old. Now, in the future, if you continue unmarried and you turn 60, 60 is the earliest possible that you may start receiving widow's benefit. Of course, that amount may be reduced or will be reduced because that is an equivalent of early benefits, since your full retirement age probably will be sometime between 66 and 67 years old, when is the day that you will receive the 100% amount. But for widow's benefits, the earliest possible is 60%. I'm sorry, at 60 years old, and we call that in a death situation, or in a life case. The earliest possible a spouse can file for benefit will be at 62, but there are also a few requirements extra.
Right.
So I hope we have answered your question. So in the meantime, we are going to continue with the requirements for a regular Social Security replacement card
Sure.
that is filed in the local offices or by mail too.
Right. Okay. So the general requirements for a Social Security card that we'd be looking for, primary identification is number one. And primary identification would be your driver's license or your state ID or a passport or a military ID. Actually, that's secondary, but anyways. So, any of those would be primary evidence that we could use for somebody who's at least age 18 looking to replace their Social Security card as an adult. And then as far as secondary evidence we can use, primarily we'd be looking at using, medical records, and then things from, what would you say a good secondary
Well,
would be?
medical records, those will include like discharge papers or shot records when we are talking
yes.
about children.
Yeah.
We can use in very few situations the medical cards, but the medical cards that shows name, date of birth, and that is very important because up to a few years ago, everybody comes with the Medicaid card, and those were fine. But since the state changed the way they present information and no expiration date or issuing date, we can no longer use that. But I have seen some others medical card, like the health insurance, that shows not only the provider but who is the beneficiary and the date of birth. We definitely can use those medical
Right.
cards and school IDs, passports,
We can use school records as well.
exactly, school records.
School
But one more
records for
time, it's
children.
very important that date of birth and the names are
Correct.
in
on
it.
there.
Oh, and the document, like let's say that is just a piece of paper for the doctors. So has to be certified. That means that have to be stamped or sealed, which is the way a document is certified, and we can use that. We can use what else? And if you are not a U.S. citizen, bring your legal resident card,
Yep.
or any document from immigration that allows you to get a replacement Social Security card. And basically, those are almost the same documents for to file the first time for a Social Security number. The document from immigration if you are an alien, or your birth certificate and identification. Just remember that a birth certificate only prove citizenship and date of birth. A birth certificate does not prove identity.
Correct. Yeah, and then the other thing to take into consideration if you have a newborn and you're waiting for that first Social Security card, it does take a little while for those to process. So, if you haven't received it and it's been a month, just hang tight. The hospital did process it out, and usually it will have come out to you within, usually about 60 days. At the longest.
Like 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And also it's very important to put the baby's name in your mailbox. So, well, thank you so much, Philip.
wonderful.
We are almost at the end of our show.
Right.
So, again, all this information is available in our website, www.socialsecurity.gov. And we encourage everybody to stay tuned for our next week program. And thank you so much for opening the doors of your homes. And from Social Security Administration, we wish you everybody, one of you, a very good evening and happy holidays.
Yeah, and if you have any more questions,